There she blows. A lovely day for driving again. Well, I've been a driving instructor for 20 years and I've never been scared once. No, I've been scared 243,629 times. Which coincidentally is the same amount of driving lessons I've given. I feel myself that today's people out there, today's motorists, feel like, you know, when they get in their car, it's a bit like putting on a suit of armour. And they get behind the wheel and then they're ready for battle. And some people's characters change considerably. As pedestrians, they're really kind and considerate people. Always kisses the wife goodbye, never kicks the dog. And if they see an old lady wanting to cross the road, like there's one over there, then they're happy to help her across. But what happens when he gets behind the wheel? He suddenly becomes really aggressive, and there's the same old lady going back the other way now. And what the hell's she doing on the road? Shouldn't be allowed out on their own. And there he is, tooting and getting quite aggressive.
When a person is driving an automobile, there's a sense of complete control. It responds without a moment's hesitation to whatever we tell it to do, even to its own demise, even to our own demise. There's no other situation in our lives where that happens, and we love it.
It's a daily routine for over 1 billion of us. Something we take completely for granted. The car is essential to most of our lives. It's the means of transport that worries us the least, but carries the greatest danger. 25 million people have been killed on the world's roads. Accidents are the price of the freedom to drive.
Deaths on the road are a function of speed and a function of mass of lumps of metal and a function of fairly known fallibilities of individuals, both in the lumps of metal and actually crossing the roads as well as pedestrians. All that's fairly well known. We know that human beings fail, they make mistakes, they make poor judgments. So if you stick such faulty bits of apparatus into 1-ton lumps of metal and rush them round at speeds of 70 miles an hour and more, one can expect these disasters to happen.
The driver in the red car escaped unhurt. Just another near miss. Was it skill that saved him? Did the car keep him alive? Or was it simply luck? What happens next? Is this bad luck or bad driving?
Look at that! Oh my God, get the car.
Are crashes inevitable? Do we prize the idea of getting there above everything else? When things go wrong, drivers blame the roads, the car, the weather, even fate. But hard evidence shows they're wrong. 96% of accidents are caused by driver error.
The car is a big, powerful weapon. It's exactly the same as a gun. If you put a gun in somebody's hands, you're going to change their personality. You're going to affect what they are capable of. You put someone behind the wheel of a car, it's exactly the same. First of all, I mean, they're capable of going at 100 miles an hour, which they never would without the car. But also, they're capable of destroying somebody, crushing someone, ripping them to pieces, just by a little move of the wheel.
I mean, the worst is 12 minutes past 2, that's not big.
Despite safety cages, seat belts and airbags, cocooned in their cars, drivers still die in crashes. On the road, there is no such thing as invulnerability.
And at these traffic lights, we're going to turn right, so mirror, a couple of flashes, make sure everyone's seen them before we start to move over, and we glide over, not even touching the cat's eyes. I must be the ultimate driver.
In America, there are 20 million road accidents a year. Yet there are so many cars and so much driving that fatalities seem rare. You can drive for a lifetime and never see a person killed. The illusion of invulnerability continues.
I believe people drive the way they live. The way most of us live is as if we're immortal. I believe we drive the same way. We have some basic, fundamental awareness that at any moment we could crash. And this tool that we're inside of could be turned against us. We keep that awareness under the surface so that we don't have to deal with the weight of it, and we drive as if we could never crash. And so when I see an accident, when I see other people injured in a terrible crash, I assume it's their fault. They caused it to happen to themselves. But that will never happen to me because I won't make that mistake. And after having weaved my way through the traffic jam and getting by the ambulances, I then breathe a sigh of relief, floor the accelerator, and speed away at 80 miles an hour.
We got our first serious accident in the morning as you're traveling southbound on Evergreen, coming right into the Detroit-Dearborn border. It's a rolled-over van. Emergency crews have just arrived on the scene. All southbound lanes are blocked just before Ford.
A crash can be the result of a simple mistake, a misjudgment, a lack of concentration. But the punishment for that error can be severe.
I was going down a country road. Normally there's no cars on the roads anywhere. I came up to an intersection where there was a stop sign on my side, and there was another car coming from my right side, and they did not have a stop sign. They continued through the intersection, and so did I, and our front ends collided, and we went off into a field.
Kenny broke his neck and is now paralyzed from the neck down. He missed the stop signs while driving on this Midwest American road. Kenny has no memory at all of the crash.
I got the police report, and I did, and I took my Polaroid camera, and I took some pictures. I thought maybe this would help Kenny jog his memory as to what happened.